Jovenel Moïse was assassinated. Damn. Jovenel Moïse was assassinated in Haiti. The president of Haiti slain at his own house. The president killed at his own house? How is that possible? And then they knew where he lived. They knew the inside, how the alignment of the damn place. This was professional. There's drones. They were speaking Spanish, claiming they were the DEA. This was professional. I don't know if it's just an oligarch, a plutocrat, or the gang, or if it's, straight up CIA. It would seem crazy as fuck for the CIA. That's their guy. Jovenel Moïse is, OAS, UN, American made, American bought and paid for. That's our guy. That's our guy. So that makes no sense. But you know what? The New York Times just immediately comes out and they said that Jovenel wanted to rewrite the Constitution. He just got assassinated. And the article that the New York Times runs as well, he did want to rewrite that damn Constitution. Jovenel's on the American government's side. He was a right-winger. The U.S., the United Nations, the OAS, they wanted Jovenel in there. They said, hey, Jovenel, here's some recommendations. Jovenel does those recommendations. As much as I am a critic of U.S. imperialism, this doesn't seem like this is bad for the interest of the U.S. government. This is bad for the interest of the U.S. government. He was a right-winger. And then his wife is injured, but she's still alive. But just weird, as soon as he gets killed, it's not, hey, Jovenel assassinated, but it's like, well, Jovenel wants to rewrite the damn Constitution. You know what? It would be great to rewrite the Constitution for Colorado, for the home, municipality, for the federal government. Hey, America, let's have ourselves a constitutional convention. Let's get a brand spanking new constitution. Let's add more rights and freedoms. Let's add another branch of government, get more checks and balances. Let's get some referendum. Let's get some initiative. Let's get some recall. Let's put as many democratic tools as we could possibly put in to our Constitution to empower our individual citizen selves to be all that we can be. That's a good thing. Jovenel wants to rewrite the Constitution, 1987 Constitution with 2012 amendments. Do you know Haiti's Constitution enough to love it and say that it's the best damn Constitution and it should never be rewritten? If you can't say that, then you can't sit there and tell me and say, well, he wanted to rewrite the Constitution, therefore he's a piece of shit. You know who else wanted to, write the Constitution? Thomas Jefferson and goddamn John Adams and, all them fucking founders and shit. They want to write the Constitution, the old Constitution where they had no rights. They want to write the thing, so they kind of rewrote what they had previously known. So, now there's a couple quotes that I just heard Ryan Grimm and whatever her name is on Rising. Now, apparently, Jovenel Moïse had said some stupid things. He said he loves to rule by decree, and he said that no matter how many elections are held, he was going to hold on to power forever. Well, my God, that's just like Cameroon, Paul Biya. Hey, America, why are you supporting Paul Biya in Cameroon? Why do you support that dictator? And then there's Belarus, that Luka fucking Shinko, goddamn totalitarian dictator motherfucker. Brand spanking new Constitution is precisely what the United States needs. And what? Just because he had some quotes? Just because he had a couple quotes here and there talking about how, you know what Baby Bush said? Baby Bush said if he was a dictator, things would be a ton easier. If he was a dictator, it'd be a lot easier. Barack Obama, he said he was great at killing people. Apparently, I'm good at killing people. Apparently, we tortured some folks, right? Apparently, torture, kill, rape, who gives a shit, right? Then there's Donald Trump, his big motherfucking lie. 50% of the Republicans today, the Republican voter, the average stupid douchebag fucking Republican, still believe Donald Trump's big fucking lie that he actually won the election, but all the massive fraud, there was just fraud left and right. Everybody was cheating the election. Like that guy said, the crime family, they're stealing the election. He's all excited and crazy and then just shuts up and goes inside. Do you know what the fuck you're talking about, man? You've been cooped up and watching a lot of Tucker Carlson. I know you're all fucking, just gearing to go, ready to fight somebody for something. But Donald Trump blatantly lied to the Republicans. He said he won the fucking election when he didn't. It was clear as fucking day. It was clear as fucking day. If you didn't like him or worship him, he was lying the first fucking day it started happening. The first fucking day. Where did he get his information? Who was telling him that there's widespread voter fraud? Huh? Was it the Attorney General? Was it the Department of Justice? Where the hell did he get his information? Because, my God, as soon as he learned that he was losing, immediately he started crying fraud. And now you got Kiko Fujimori crying fraud down in Peru, too. So, in American history, we've never seen any widespread, massive voter fraud that would completely undermine the election. There's been a couple things that I don't like here and there. There was some intimidation bullshit in Kentucky and Letcher County. But to undermine the election, I was able to vote. I just wasn't allowed to take a picture of it, but I'm pretty sure I'm allowed. But anyways, in the history of America for, 200, 300 years, how long America had been around? We've been 1776 to, was that 240-something years? For nearly 250 years, we've never had widespread, massive voter fraud that would undermine the election, but in 2020, we did. Except for Donald Trump's fucking election. That one fucking year, all of our elections have been pretty, much on the up and up, but 2020, last year's election in America, it was a lie. It was a lie. It was a fraud. They stole from him. And if it was actually stolen from him, why did he leave? Why the fuck did he leave the White House if it was actually stolen from him? That makes no fucking sense. He didn't believe his own goddamn lie. He wanted you to believe his fucking lie, but he didn't even believe his own fucking lie. And he wasn't ready to fight for his own big lie. He won the fucking... You actually won the democracy? You actually won the goddamn election, Donald? Then why did you leave the White House? If you won the election... You should have been like, this is America. I'm the rightful fucking victor. I got more votes. I'm staying here. But he's a liar. And how come we never got a January 6, 2021 commission? What the goddamn fuck? Fuck fascism. Fuck the lies. Fuck the hatred of democracy. So these people, there was Nissan patrol pickups, there was drones, they were sitting there, men clad in black and high-powered sniper rifles, so, had really fancy arms, lots of men. They had drones. They had fucking drones. They knew where Jovenel's house was at. They pretended to be the DEA. They pretended to speak Spanish. Nissan patrol pickups, they had money. This is a sophisticated professional operation. Jovenel was making a deal in Turkey. Maybe the Colombia gang didn't like that shit. Jovenel was making deals in Turkey. Well, the Colombian gang, maybe Colombia just said, fuck that bullshit. We have no idea. There's really no telling who or what or why any of this could have happened. It's going to take time. We're going to try to figure some shit out. Did Jovenel Moise illegally and unconstitutionally extend his presidential term? No. No, that shit was a lie. And that was the shit that I was actually believing, thinking he was a dictator that was just running, taking the ball and running with it even though he wasn't allowed to. You're running out of bounds. You're not allowed. It's fucking soccer. You're not supposed to pick the ball up. What the fuck are you doing? But Jovenel Moise, he was allowed to be there. He was the president. He was going to be president until February 7th of next year. Jovenel Moise's successor. Who's going to be the successor? Haiti, they got 3 branches of government. They have a runoff election, actually, for their presidency. So they got a runoff election. Maybe New York City should have started off with just a simple runoff election, and then once they did one runoff, then they could do the ranked. Maybe that would have been better. But the Board of Elections, they fucked up, right? They just, just go ahead and put those votes in. Those votes. Yeah, just put all the votes in. These are sample ballots. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Just a hodgepodge, right? Just a stew, a democracy stew. That's what. So Jovenel Moise's successor. Is his successor going to be the leader of the Supreme Court? Is it going to be the president of the Senate? Joseph Lambert? Man, he gives me the creeps. Gary Bordeaux? I like Gary Bordeaux better than Joseph Lambert. So who is Jovenel Moise's successor going to be? Is there going to be brand new elections? Is Haiti going to get their shit together? Is it going to be a powder keg? Is it going to go nuclear? Is it going to go fucking crazy right now? They've been suffering, and now if he's a terrible dictator, now they've been liberated and freed, and if they love the man, now they're going to be devastated and sad. Who's his successor going to be? Who's his successor? Is it Ariel Henry? Is it the guy that he just appointed prime minister? That's who I believe. I think Ariel Henry is the constitutionally protected prime minister. Ariel Henry is, not Claude fucking Joseph. Claude Joseph isn't the prime minister. Jovenel Moise appointed Ariel Henry. So according to the Constitution. And then, I got some constitutional stuff here, but I'm going to talk to you about how, he had 5 years, and the term doesn't start until January. The elections happened November 2016. So that means his term begins February 7th. His 2017, 5 years from 2017 is 2022. Jovenel is right. Both Articles 134-1 and Article 134-2 says that Jovenel Moise is correct. And then when it comes to who succeeds Haiti, who succeeds Jovenel Moise, well, the last provision of Article 149 explains it very clearly. For the brand new assassination elections, because you got to do something different, the National Assembly needs to meet up within 60 days to elect a new provisional president of the Republic. Since there hasn't been any brand new elections, the Parliament has dissolved, and so that means the National Assembly will have to be the last National Assembly. So within 2 months, the National Assembly, the last National Assembly, needs to meet up. And so Lambert could elect himself. The National Assembly is both the lower and the upper house. And then, when they meet up, the Senate and the House, in the next 2 months, they're going to elect a provisional president of the Republic. So technically, there is no president. You're not going to have a president of Haiti for a month or two. What you will have is a prime minister. And you got to get that shit figured out, because I think Ariel Henry is the prime minister. He just not nominated him, he appointed him. If he had nominated him, then that waits a Senate approval, but he appointed him. He's running shit by decree. He appointed him. He's the constitutionally, rightfully the constitutionally elected president. The constitutionally elected president had said that Ariel Henry is the new prime minister. Claude Joseph is not the prime minister. It may be, that seems like it's clear as day that it was that motherfucker that did it. But I don't know. He benefits the most. Ariel Henry just became prime minister, right? And then all of a sudden, Jovenel Moise gets fucking killed. It was the last tweet that he put up. So the last provision of Article 149 says that the old National Assembly needs to reconvene and they elect a new interim president in the next 60 days. So Lambert may elect, himself, or the Congress could elect one of themselves. But as weird as this sounds, Haiti has actually been here before. What, you don't have a president, you got a fucking constitutional crisis? It almost seems like they know how to, chuck out the president and just do these fucking elections, but they don't know how to do elections like clockwork, right? As soon as you have these next elections, and, in 5 fucking years you're going to have another election. So as soon as these elections are over, set the next elections right away, immediately. Okay, we just had these elections. When are the next elections going to happen? Baby Bush said it'd been easier to be a dictator. So just because Jovenel said some dumb things, and even if he intended to stay in power, past his term, we didn't give him his entire term. February 7th, 2022. So if he would have passed that term, then perhaps you could say that he, was a dictator. He went past the, he's being extrajudicial. He's going beyond the Constitution. He's going beyond, what the powers of the Constitution give him. But he wasn't doing that. If anything, it looks like to me that Jovenel Moise was the only motherfucker holding Haiti together. Now what you motherfuckers going to do? Now who's going to hold you crazy, fucking poor, Who's going to hold Haiti together now? Now who's going to hold Haiti? Lambert? That's like Israel. You went in the wrong direction. You got rid of Netanyahu because he was terrible, then you went more farther right wing. So, as weird as this sounds, Haiti has been here before. They've been here before, so Haiti will be okay. They've been here before. They know what to do, but that makes me actually feel a little bit, you know, I'm trying to say, like, everything will be fine, but also maybe not, because if they've been here before, they know how to, you know, oh, the president's gone, so let's have new elections, brand new president, this way, that way, because you can't get a goddamn president that can run the fucking elections correctly. If anything, it almost seems like the institution of throwing out the president of Haiti and then reestablishing a completely brand new government, you know, starting from the National Assembly, starting from the representatives and the senators. And if you keep going to the reps and the senators, maybe it's those rat bastards. They keep their jobs, they stay in power, and you just had, you know, your unitary, you know, your monarch, and now who's the face of Haiti? And if it's Lambert, that's an ugly face. So I hope that Lambert doesn't become the president. The National Assembly needs to meet up within 60 days to elect a brand new provisional president of the Republic. That's what Article 149 of Haiti's Constitution says. So maybe now's a good time to start being constitutional. Now's the time to actually start doing what the Constitution says, trying to interpret the document. You want what's best for your country, but you also want to do it lawful. So you got to do what's best for your country within the framework of the law of the Constitution. You might think you're doing something best, but if it's against it, then it's illegal and it's unconstitutional. So he was constitutionally the president. The constitutional president has appointed a brand new prime minister, Ariel Henry. Ariel Henry is the new prime minister. And while the prime minister is running the country of Haiti, then you're going to have the old National Assembly that's going to reconvene and elect a brand new interim president in the next 60 days, a brand new provisional president of the Republic. So they could elect Gary Bordeaux, they could elect that Lambert, they might elect one of themselves. So, you know, this does sound really weird, but Haiti, you've been here before. You've been here before. Don't freak the fuck out, right? Basically, what this should tell you is that you're alone in this world. To the Haitian individual, to the Haitian citizen, it's just all on you. If you succeed or don't succeed, your president might get fucking popped off when he's just sitting in his goddamn home. So what's that say about your security situation? So ultimately, yeah, you gotta, you know, enforce your own sovereignty, find good friends and family and cliques, and start organizing and get a tribe. People are tribalistic all over the world, so you got to get your strong tribe. You got to have a nice, strong tribe, so that way, when the president and the government and the mayor and the whoever the fuck ever, you know, if something bad happens, just, you know, the shit hits the fan and it's just terrible all over the place, then it won't be so bad. Hell, it might even be good for you if you get your shit situated. That's Howard Zinn's Revolution. Check him out, Howard Zinn's Soft Revolution. Read Article 149.